post on, I believe it was Motovloggers Worldwide Facebook page, and I forget who it was. I'm sorry, I'll put your name up here in bold flashing letters or something. From what I gathered from the post, his bike was low on oil and he couldn't pick up motorcycle specific oil. So he asked, is it okay to use regular oil, you know, that you get from the auto parts store or whatever, on your motorcycle? And you should have seen the two sides going at it. I mean, it wasn't an argument, but it was the two sides being, oh yeah, you know, just do it, whatever, don't worry about it, to, oh my god, you're gonna blow up your bike and everything's gonna, you know, world's gonna die. So today I will talk about oil. And I know people will disagree with me, but here is what I have gathered from being a mechanic for over 10 years, working with all sorts of equipment, from small engines to motorcycles to large diesel engines to gearboxes and everything else. It basically comes down to this: oil is oil. The right oil is better than the wrong oil, but any oil is better than no oil. If you have a motor that you are going to be running for a long period of time and you plan to keep forever, you should use the best oil you can get. Okay, manufacturer specification, name brand, you know, full synthetic if you want to go that route. Go as you know, don't skimp out on it. In the long run, oil is very cheap. You know, it's $5 a quart, yes, but especially for motorcycles, oh, $5 a quart, you put in what? My V-Strom takes 3 quarts. Ooh, you know, $15 of oil. Actually, I think I use a Suzuki synthetic brand, which is a bit more expensive, but still, you know, I pay $40 for the oil change kit that I use, and that comes with the filter and everything else, and 4 quarts, so I get an extra quart of oil. But still, to me, as you know, putting $30 of oil in for oil change, that is cheap insurance. So yes, I will do the expensive 4 motorcycle name brand, you know, synthetic oil. Having said that, if I was low on oil, which my bike does, you know, if somehow oil leaked out, like maybe the filter got punctured or something like that, and I needed oil to get home, and there was no motorcycle supply store around, just like an AutoZone or whatever, I would not hesitate to walk in there and buy 3 quarts of 10W40 cheap AutoZone oil. Because it's oil, it's gonna work. It might not have all the fancy cleaners and additives that work just right with the bike, but it'll work. And it'll probably work fairly well. You know, I might change it out very early, but hey, you know. Now, having said that, what I would not buy is the name brand expensive car oil, and that has to do with the difference between cars and bikes. All right, the main difference between a motorcycle, you know, drivetrain system and a car drivetrain system, you know, with manual transmission, because again, automatics are completely different, is going to be the clutch. Cars, for the most part, I don't know of any that don't have this, have a dry clutch system. That is, the clutch is open to air, and it does not have any lubrication. Whereas motorcycles are a wet clutch system. They are bathed in the actual engine oil. That is one reason why a motorcycle clutch, you can slip it for a long time and not do any damage. Now what this means though is that when you put oil into a motorcycle, you have to be mindful of what's in that oil because it will be affecting the clutch. The expensive car oil has additives in it like friction reducers and certain cleaners and stuff like that, which is not good for motorcycle clutches, and you will get clutch slippage and possibly extended wear. The good news is, if you go to AutoZone or your local auto parts store, whatever it may be, and go get their brand oil, which is usually the cheapest they have, 10W40 for most bikes, or whatever weight you use, and you look at it and there will be nothing about additives on it at all, because it is just straight up oil, nothing fancy, that you can put into your bike and not worry about. If you were to get, say, I'm sure the Mobile One has friction reducers and efficiency boosters and all that crap, that could cause you problems with clutch slippage. A good brand that people have used in motorcycles for a long time with no ill effects is the Rotel. I forget who makes it. I think it's a Valvoline or something. But the Rotel, 10W40 is a diesel engine oil with no additives, nothing special. People have been running them in motorcycles for decades without ill effects. So if you want something cheap, you go for that stuff. But that's pretty much it. Again, you can run car oil in a motorcycle without anything bad happening. People get this idea in their head that motorcycle specific stuff must be used on a motorcycle, and actually the other way, I've dumped motorcycle oil in my car when I've needed it. It was pretty low in oil because the damn thing leaks, and I needed something to get me by, so I just dumped it in there and it was fine. The car hasn't run any worse than it already does. But yeah, I mean, people have this thing where motorcycles need motorcycle specific products, and it's not always the case. There's just a few things you have to worry about, the labels and stuff like that, and if you see efficiency increasing stuff or friction reducing, avoid that stuff. If you're that nervous, change it out as soon as you can. Otherwise, put it in, enjoy the ride, and don't worry about it. So that's about it. This is Unstable Boy. I'll talk at you later. The fuck are you doing? The fuck are you doing? Dickhead. Look at that.